Okay, so we are going to do the homework for Monday, February 18th. It is Mario. Don't worry about correcting your quiz. I didn't give that back to you today. So let's take a look at number 1. It says, Jacob ate 3/5 of a bowl of chicken noodle soup. Write this amount as a simplified fraction and as a percent. Show your work. Well, we already have it as a simplified fraction, which is 3/5. And we know that we can't simplify that anymore because 3 is a prime number. So let's change that fraction into a percent. How do we do that? We draw our back cave. Make sure you set up the numbers right. We have 3 on the inside and 5 on the outside. 5 doesn't go into 3 because it's too big, so we add a decimal and a 0. And 5 goes into 36 times. So our decimal is going to be 0.6. But we know to change a decimal to a percent, we have to mustache it 2 places, 1 and 2. So we are going to have 60% as our percentage. Question number 2. Marcos had 5/8 of a meter of copper pipe, and he cut off 1/6 of a meter of the pipe. How much of the copper pipe was left? Since we want to know how much was left, we're going to subtract. So 5/8 minus 1/6. In order to subtract these, we have to make the bottoms look the same. So we know that 8 and 6 multiplied together is 48, so let's make the new bottoms 48. And then taking a look at 1/6, we multiply 6 times 8 is 48. Whenever we do to the bottom, we do to the top. And we got 1 times 8 is 8. And then 8 times 6, so we have to do 5 times 6 as well. And we get 30 over 48. So now, since our bottoms are the same, we can do 30 over 48 minus 8 over 48. And we get 22 over 48. But we can simplify that, divide it by 2, and get 11 over 24 as your final answer. Next question. A seamstress bought 4.5 yards of material for a pattern. She then realized the pattern called for 6 1/4 yards of material. How much more material did the seamstress need for the pattern? So we have 6 1/4 minus 4.5. So we know we're looking at mixed numbers. We look at the big numbers first. 6 minus 4 is 2. But then we have to take 1/4 away from 1/2. And 1/2 is way bigger. So we're going to have to do something to this 6 1/4. We want to add a whole. So we know a whole would be 4 over 4, right? So if we add that, we take away a whole, we actually get 5, because we took away a whole, and 5/4. That's the same thing. We'll talk about that tomorrow in class 2. So we have 5 5/4 minus 4.5, and we get 1, multiply the half by 2, we get 1 and 3 over 4 when we subtract it. Last question. Casey and John were running in a race. Casey finished the race in 10.525 minutes, and John finished the race in 8.40 minutes. Who ran faster and by how many minutes? So if we want to know who ran faster, we need to subtract. So do 10.525 minus 8.40. And if you have a spot that's blank, you need to add a 0 and just subtract. And that was your homework for Mario.